Hello, this is Samsa again, and welcome to a new Let's Play of Eldritch. So I got tired of doing like uploading all of those Doom episodes, and I didn't really want to create yet another video of what was that game called? Dungeon Crawl, yeah. So I figured I would start a new Let's Play, finally. And this one is a game that I quite enjoyed. I've played this through once, so it's not blind, but I did really enjoy this game. And I figured, because I haven't made a Let's Play of this game ever, I would now create a Let's Play of this game, and share my experiences when I go through this game once again. So, Eldritch is, it's a roguelite first-person shooter game. Sort of it has these Lovecraftian elements to it. And I don't think there is any reason to talk about the main menu any further, so let's get into this game. So I've reset my progress and I've disabled my Steam Cloud, so I start with basically nothing. And we have leaderboards here, and we can change our appearance, and then there are these various books, but I'm going to get into those books a bit later. First of all, we need to create ourselves a character. And I think I'm probably going to go with something... Well, this looks familiar for some reason. Let's see what we can create. Something... I think this is fine. That doesn't allow too much tinkering. And anyway, so we start in this library, and this is sort of the hub area where we can access all of our levels. And like I said, this is a roguelite game. By the way, there's my fastest time, my only run of this game, and yeah, I'm not going to speedrun this game. No way. We could of course spend some time reading all of these journals here. I'm not going to do that. There are just way too many of these books around here. Every single book like this is readable. Of course, these are just the... this is the tutorial, so you can lead and stuff. And but first, let's pick up some of these artifacts, and then we can actually start playing the game. Because this is not the game yet. This is just the hub area. So here is where all of the interesting stuff happens. So all of these books here are the levels. And then there are also some extra levels, like this strange book here. And this strange book here. And then there, I believe this Jack-o'-lantern is also a secret level. Some of these levels, for instance, this level is that's a themed level. It was the Halloween level. I'm probably going to play at least some of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to play this one, because this one, I believe, was an interesting one. But I'm probably going to play them at some point. But first, and we also have a bank here. So the only thing that carries through if you die is the stuff that you have in your bank, and that's those artifacts. And if you die, you lose all of your gear and all of the artifacts that you are carrying. So if you want to save artifacts, you want them to be put in the chest. But yeah, anyway, let's start the first level, and let's see how well this goes. So... this book is written in a language you do not recognize. As you peer at the strange glyphs, they seem to lift off the page and take on the bizarre and unearthly forms of the worlds and creatures they describe. The words encircle you, blotting out the library and filling your mind with the unbearable buzzing of a pre-human language. Shaken, you try to close the book, but find yourself transported to the alien world described in its pages. And we are now transported into one of the levels. And like it was hinted, all of the levels are actually themed. They have their separate themes. This one is sort of a old, I guess, a temple, or actually these are trees here, so I'm not really sure what this theme is. I'm not too much into like Lovecraftian stuff, so I might be completely missing out on stuff. And of course these describe stuff that has happened in the ancient god Dagon. So when we run into these books, I'm probably going to let you see them, and if you want to read them, you can pause the game and read them. But I'm not going to go into them, just because I want to avoid spending too much time just reading books. I'm sorry. And we're picking up a lot of stuff now, and I have myself some gear. So you probably saw me pick up that compass earlier, and what that does is it shows us where the level's exit is. And I also picked up some keys and this knife. And indeed there is combat, and the knife is probably one of the best weapons. At least it's the one I used most. There are other weapons as well, and that's our first enemy. And we can loot these corpses, but the game has an interesting mechanic that if you loot a body, you make the enemy respawn, basically. So you need to think carefully when you want to loot bodies, because if you killed something annoying, you might not want to make it respawn. Of course, if I looted that snake there, and we got the revolver. But it doesn't necessarily mean that a snake will respawn. It might be something completely different. But the key thing here is that if you loot bodies, you will make enemies respawn. And I'm being very careful here. The game has an interesting stealth mechanic, so actually sneaking around is a good option. You can of course just run and gun, basically. We have a gun, so we could do that technically. But I find that a very difficult tactic, so I usually I try to be a bit more quiet, and I'm actually going to throw away the revolver. The revolver is a weapon that causes noise, and we don't want to do that. The dynamite, of course, also does that, but there are some interesting things you can do with the dynamite. Like, for instance, you can blow up walls with it, or well, basically any of this stuff. All of the entertainment. What am I talking about? My brain is going places, and I am not quite sure where. Anyway, so what I was trying to say is that you can destroy all of the Damn it! Environment! There it is! Wow. I'm having some very difficult trouble, yes. I can barely even English today. Hopefully my ramblings are still in somewhat understandable order. And I'm actually surprised that there aren't any enemies. This is of course the first level, so it's the easiest one. Though I believe the second level is probably the most difficult level of all of these. But anyway, let's focus on this stuff. So I'm basically just trying to loot everything that's lootable, so all of the artifacts, all of the keys. I could probably pick up the bullets as well, but I don't really care about the revolver. And the environment is randomly generated, so I'm not completely sure where I'm supposed to go, so I'm sort of going by my instincts, and my instincts might not be telling the truth. There was also a statue around here that I completely missed because I was just trying to loot everything. So let's see if... there's the snake again. Let's see if we can find... There it is. So that's a statue, and that's going to grant us an ability of some sort. So let's get in here, and let's not waste any keys on this. So this is the resonance statue. And yeah, they hold special powers from the old ones. And we got the knock power, which is actually a good power to get, considering that we are sort of trying to be sneaky. The knock power doesn't do much, but it does cause a noise. So if I click, say, right there, it's going to distract that. I believe these guys are... What were these guys called? I don't even remember. Cultists, I believe. So let's see if I can actually sneak up on this guy. There are at least a couple of them around here. I think, yep, he just decided to go downstairs. And the food that's around here, that's used to naturally heal you. Okay, he's coming upstairs once again. Maybe, possibly. Yep, definitely. I think he is probably walking around here. Yep, definitely. And there's also another one around here. Technically these guys aren't that difficult to handle. I could probably just run at it and completely wreck it. Or him. Some of these are its and some of these are his. Okay, let's see what is behind the door number X. I think that's plenty of stuff. Okay. Let's head downstairs and let's see if we can actually take on this cultist. I think he fell down. There he is. They can apparently also walk through those spikes with ease, because if I stand on them, I will die. Or at least take damage. Depends on how long I stand. Okay. So that frogman noticed the cultist getting killed, but he's being quite oblivious about this. No, don't go there! You idiot. You're making it way too difficult for me to kill you. That's the exit there. But I do want to explore a bit more, because all of these artifacts are eventually going to be very important. At least when we find the... I think... Oh! Ooh. Nice. So yeah, those cultists, they aren't too bad. They can cause some damage, and I actually did take some damage at some point. I think it was right there. So we need to find some food. There should be plenty of that stuff. Yeah, baked meat. Or ham. If food is baked, it's going to be just completely safe, and if it's rotten, then it might not be. You might take damage, so you need to... There are a lot of things like that, small things really, but they are very important to remember. So sometimes you need to gamble a bit in order to properly advance, but currently our health situation is quite good. There's an insect around here. It's giving me a bunch of bullets. And usually that happens when I'm not using the gun. You can probably guess what happens when I actually use the gun. No bullets anywhere. Okay. Let's take care of this guy, and then I think we're probably going to head down. This is just the first... Fine. If you want to be that way.